Hey there everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com, iMore.com, and all of mobile nations in general. And I've got a couple tablets here. One of them you probably recognize. This is my slightly dirty Nexus 7. It's got a bunch of black stuff. This is the white version from Google I/O. So it's got a lot of kind of just black marring on it from cases we've tested, but retail versions aren't white, so we don't get that. And underneath it, we have the brand new iPad mini. So I wanted to take a look at both of these side by side. This is a 7-inch tablet, the Nexus 7, obviously, Nexus 7, 7-inch tablet. iPad mini, almost 8 inches. Was it 7.89, 7.9? So slightly different screen size, and you can really see it here. Let's turn the 7 on, and you can see the iPad mini peeking out from behind it. So definitely a different feel to it, right? It's almost, I would describe it if you've gotten to use a Galaxy Note or Galaxy Note 2, and then the LG View, which is sort of the same giant phone, only with a different aspect ratio. This is almost the same sort of thing. The iPad mini is ridiculously thin. That is really nice, really, really thin. Is it too thin? Maybe. I think you could maybe make the argument that it would not be horrible to have it a little bit thicker. Back feels really nice with the aluminum, of course. Apple, makes good stuff. The Nexus has this kind of soft touch rubber, and it's good. I like it. I have no problem with it whatsoever. Camera on the iPad mini, where we don't have a camera on the Nexus 7. Really, I think the biggest difference, other than ecosystem, right? I mean, you're probably not going to run out and get both. You're an iOS guy, you're an Android guy, or maybe you're on the fence about buying one or the other. So if you're on the fence, that's where I think the feel really comes down to it. So I like the Nexus 7 a lot. I like this size better, I think, and this is me using the iPad mini for all of 2 minutes now. But just initial reaction holding it, it feels wide. It feels like a smaller iPad. I like this thinner aspect ratio. I like the screen size. I mean, this is not a bad screen size. I'll never give up pixels any day of the week. Oh, but speaking of pixels, of course, that's kind of the big hang up with the iPad mini. This is 1028 by 768, I believe. It's a lower resolution than what we have in the Nexus 7, and that's evident actually when you're looking at it. I've got an iPad 2 and an iPad 3 with Retina display here in the house. I use the iPad 3 most of the time, and you can definitely tell going back. And in fact, it's really close, I think, with the Nexus 7, but the Nexus 7 does look better. It is a little more higher resolution and has the smaller display size, so the pixels are a little more compressed, and it looks really good. Would I, turn this down? Would I turn the iPad mini down if somebody wanted to give me one? Probably not. But the display on the Nexus 7 is really good and has greater pixel density, so it looks a little better. Otherwise, it's an iPad, right? So, app drawer here, iPad springboard there. So, but the big difference for me is just the size. I like the thinner Nexus 7 better. It's a little easier to hold. Bezels, I know that was one of Apple's big thing. Oh my God, it has a smaller bezel. That doesn't bother me much, and I tell you, your thumb's sitting on top of the screen here. Now, I'm sure Apple has, found a way so that's not going to affect the apps, but it's in the way. If I'm reading, I'm gonna have to move. So that really doesn't bother me. I would chalk that up to just marketing. So there you go, a quick look at the Nexus 7 and the iPad mini. See ya.
Jerry here from Android Central. If your wife won't let you run around naked, grab a kick-ass t-shirt from shopandroid.com.